Is this shit working? Should be. Sorry, I'm really close. I know that. But let's make sure this works. Oh, that's when everything decides to load. First, make sure YouTube is working. It is working. And my chat app is not. Of course it's not. Because it's dumb. Oh, there we go. I closed it. I reopened it. I think it's good now. What's up? How you guys doing? We got streaming rig. Ooh, let me turn this down. That'll probably fix my... I always think my son messes with that. But, oh, no, that's much better. Okay, that should be good. Yo. Oh. Oh, I think I'm connected to my phone. Okay, explain something to me. How can you spend $200 on a headset and then you push the only button that it has and then it just does not work? This is the first time I've ever caught a live while it's live. Well, welcome. We're gonna do some unusual stuff today. We got new streaming rig. So this moves. I didn't hear the boop. Okay, so it is connected. There is audio coming through. No. Hopefully this works. Oh, can you guys say stuff? That way I know my audio is working before we go on TikTok and unleash that fucking storm. Yes! Shit works. Okay, cool. Blah, blah. Whoa. Oh, there it is. Set your cover image. I don't want TikTok. What are you doing? Choose education. We have a featured live intro. Huh. I guess I'll look into that. Go live. All right, so we got TikTok. And now what we got to do, we got to click start. Then overlay gallery. Copy this. Put that in there. Boom. And then TTS. What's up? Hey, that's working. What's up, TikTok? How are you guys doing too? So we're combining everything. We got YouTube, we got TikTok. We should have no problems. That's the goal today, is no problems. Echo. There's echo? Fuck. There's an echo. But I can't see. Maybe that. How's it now? Is it still okay? How about now? Is it working now? Or can you hear me? I know YouTube's good. Good now? Okay, I'll take it. I'll take the win. I mute. Cool. I hit something. Shit's working. No, yes. All right, thanks for hanging with me. All right, we got a Kia Telluride. We are going to be doing ceramic on all the rear, the front sides. I did the windshield though already, so that's already been done. But we're going to get started and do everything else. I just wanted to make sure I had the windshield out of the way before I got like too far into this. So we're trying a different streaming setup. There's really not going to be a huge difference though on your end. There's a big difference on my end. So that's what we're going to play around with today. It should be simpler. Both platforms should work. As far as which one gets video before the other, I have no control over that. Let me tape the sides up here and then we'll get going. What size rolls? I usually buy 36 24s. So on this one, 24 is going to be a little bit tall, but it is helpful to have a 24-inch roll. So you would be fine with 20-inch all the way around on this, except for the windshield, but I got 24s, so I actually, unfortunately, we're doing good and bad. We have 70% ceramic. That usually only I ever order in a long roll. So we're probably I'm gonna see what we can do about the side doors. I don't think the mic's getting picked up on TikTok. Oh, I wonder if it's doing that thing. Oh. Hang on. I think I know the problem. No, you just toss out the bad. Okay, but I think I know why there's an echo. I think it's picking up audio from here. How is it now? I think it's picking up camera audio at the same time. How is it now? Good? Should be better. Learning all this stuff. It's complicated. Good now? I think it was capturing audio through the camera. Now it should be audio just from my microphone. So I think what I did was I disabled this. It just gets confusing, man. I could have used 2 different streaming softwares to pull this shit off. Complicated. Hey, Jack, does it do black bars at the top and the bottom? Yeah. It's full? Sweet. Can I see it really quick? Cool. I don't even know what my stream looks like on TikTok. Yeah, same. So we got the same camera right now, run into both. Oh, I just want to see it. Oh, that's great. Sweet. Cool. Now that I scared everybody away with garbage audio, but hey, that's how you figure all this stuff out. I had my car tinted a while ago and I found out they cut my rubber seals. Ugh, that sucks. You don't want that. Okay, I should somewhere have Pro Nano 20. Oh, fuck. Is that over there? That might be over there. That's probably the only roll that I should have made sure on. So we're gonna walk over here and we're gonna check Pro Classic, Pro Classic, Pro Classic. Oh. I thought I had it. Maybe I don't. I guess I got my windshield tinted. I went home and it's got bubbles in it. You're gonna want to get that fixed. Windshields is a tough one though. It genuinely is a tough window to do. I did this one actually twice in a row. So I'm actually going to do these sideways. Save a little bit of film, should be pretty straightforward. As long as it reaches. Does it reach? Yes. 36-inch sideways. Boom. Perfect. I feel like I have a short roll somewhere, I just don't know where it is. I'm not about to go hunt for everything. I was trying to solve as many streaming problems as I could. Super chat, thank you. I was torn between GeoShield and Lexan Megamax or Coolmax. All right, well, what I can tell you is I use Geo, and Jack over there, he bought Lexan ceramic for his first car that he ever did. He regrets it. It's just not going to be as clear. That's going to be the main thing. Their Pure Max is okay. Everything else is not great. What's your go-to? Oh, Geo, all day. Okay, so this door is a little bit unusual because we got this big curve right here. This really isn't that bad, but when we come over to look at the inside, that's when we got to figure out what we're going to do with our outside cut. So if you look over here, this actually goes straight, but this top part curves. So if I were to cut this along this curve, you'd notice a gap right in here. So we're going to keep that going straight all the way across. But how do we do that? We'll get to that. We'll get to that. But I'm going to worry about this side edge first. I cut the bottom edge where I could get to, just nice and flat. This is a Telluride. Very strange name, but they're cool. I like them. We're going to cut, Sharpie the left side and cut with a meter stick. That would be a good way to do it too. I like Sharpies. We're going to get into Sharpies more. Yeah, this live stream should actually work. Do you hear comments from both platforms? I do. I hear everything. But yeah, we're going to go over Sharpies and stuff here in the near future. I never learned with a Sharpie, never saw a Sharpie until much later in my career. But yeah, that was the struggle of trying to stream on both platforms. Was you gotta handle comments on both platforms. YouTube is a wide platform. TikTok is a tall platform. What's the difference between Pro Nano and the Apex stuff? Good question. So there are single layer ceramics and there are dual layer ceramics. So Apex is actually a dual layer ceramic. So it's basically as if you were to tint the window twice with two single layers of ceramic. They just took that, combined it into one film, and called it Apex. Really good stuff. Looks very clear. I've been very, very happy with it. But that being said, I'm still using Pro Nano, and that's what we're using right now. Pro Nano is like no slouch. There's that. Did everything with eBay. Not happy with the haze, gonna redo it with GeoShield. Oh, you're gonna notice a world of difference. And that's really what we're always talking about when we say like cheap films are hazy, because they are. Better films now are a lot more clear. So when you tint a car and it's sitting in a garage, you're not gonna notice that haze, not near as much. When you pull it out into the sunlight and it gets direct sun on it, it'll basically turn milky. It's because the carbon and the ceramic that is in those films are just not as refined. So that causes it to be hazy. So I never feel like there should be trade-offs for film. You shouldn't spend more on a ceramic film and get less clarity. That I think is really dumb. So for a long time, carbon and ceramic across the board was hazy. It's just, it had to go through some growing pains first. So I didn't install it for a long time until I felt like it was ready. Hazy means exactly what it sounds like. Like, it's just hard to see through. It looks like somebody tinted your windows with like milk. I don't know how many people on TikTok there are right now. Chat's not as busy right now, though. But we had a lot of audio shit at the beginning, which is never good. Maybe foggy would be a better description. That is a good description. What people usually say is hazy, but what we should say is whatever most people understand. All right, so we're going to get this set up. We're going to shrink both. We'll just shrink this side, and we'll install it, and then we'll move on to the next door. We'll take them one at a time. How much do you normally have? Oh, I don't know. It's all over the place. Starting out with audio issues could definitely kill a stream, though. You think there's color difference? There's really a color difference with every film. Oh shit, I'm gonna fuck this up. I did this sideways. I gotta shrink on the sides. I would have messed that up. How long have you been tinting? Well, at least a couple of days. After that, almost that mistake. I can feel the streaming problems happening already. So this is just like I like this setup. This is really fun. It's just getting the audio things in order. That's always the challenge. We're gonna fix this one. I just started to shrink it at the bottom when I shouldn't have. So now we gotta basically shrink that slight curve out of it over on the side, over here, and then we'll get it installed. It's tough though. Easiest way to tint a Model 3. Well, all the doors are frameless, so that's pretty straightforward. The back window, you need a 60-inch roll, and then you need to cut it up or shrink it out the sides. So we did this one sideways because I flipped the 36-inch roll on its side. I don't know where my short roll is or if I even have one, so I wasn't going to try and look for it. So flip the roll sideways, but then you got to remember the roll orientation is different. So then you flip it, and then it'll work out. Are you attending the grand opening for Geo in Vegas? No. No, I am stuck on the other side of the U.S. Would be nice to go hang out with them again, but it's hard to make it out to anything. So I'll be here. Same thing with the IWFA. IWFA, all those events, it's kind of like wishful thinking right now. I would like to be able to go to some of that, but a lot of times it's just not possible. There's just too many things going on here. Yeah, when you flip the roll sideways, so you always have to shrink whatever the orientation of your, well, I thought that was going to be pretty easy. So I got a piece of film here. Whatever the orientation of your roll is, so if you flip it sideways, you're still shrinking in the same direction on that roll. So I would shrink out the top and bottoms, flip it sideways. Now this is my top and bottom. So that's the way that you have to shrink it. Basically look like film. Look at film like the whole thing is stretched out, and anytime you apply heat, that roll shrinks back together. Would you recommend C2 or Carbon Plus? Carbon Plus and C2 are very different. So Carbon Plus is a carbon and ceramic film. C2 is just a pure carbon film. So it depends on what you're trying to achieve. If you're just picking like one film to have, just pick C2 or pick Pro Classic, because all you're doing is selling tint jobs. What I like to do is have a good, a better, and a best. So I have Pro Classic, I have C2, and I have Pro Nano. And what that does is somebody might want to come in for just a tint job, or somebody has a little bit more money to spend, so then they get carbon, block a little more heat. Or like this one, their main concern is going to be blocking out the most amount of heat. And so we ended up doing the windshield, and we're doing all the sides and the rear in a ceramic. Why does this look so dark? Hang on. This can't be right. This is wrong. This is wrong. I should have noticed it, but I don't know how I didn't. Oh, I gotta order more of that. But thank you. I'm glad we were talking about that before I got any farther. Yeah, that's a big uh-oh, SpaghettiOs, man. No, not wrong side, wrong shade. I was like, this looks really dark for 20%. We're supposed to do 20 on the back to match, or 20 on the front to like match the back, and then we're doing 70 over the back. Yeah, I'm very distracted with you guys today. That and all the streaming shit. So once we sort through that, we'll be better off. It's just getting to that point is always a cluster in the beginning. That happens like every friggin' time. People have asked me. People have asked me for a lower priced film. I might get Pro Classic. That's always going to be the case. So this is what makes it really challenging. Is like I still have people that call all the time. We're too expensive. They're just calling to get a price. Oh, you know, let me check my schedule. Blah 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 blah. Whatever the case. That's going to be normal. How low you want to go is up to you. But the lower you go, the harder things get. But whatever you're selling at, it's good to have 3 major offerings and just make things as simple as you possibly can for the client to understand. It's annoying. Why not get a good film? It's a one-time investment. Well, I'm sure there are dozens of things that you don't even think of that you do the same thing with. So yeah, getting a film on your car is going to be a bigger thing, but there's so much scattered information and marketing out there that it's hard to keep track of. You know, nobody is ever selling a bad film. You know, so we know cheap films fail faster and don't hold up. I'm like trying my best to line these patterns up, but holy shit, man. Let's start with lining this one up. Push it over there, pull it back. AutoZone doesn't say that they have bad film. They all market a good product. And some films are going to last a lot longer than others. But nobody is telling the customer that they're getting a bad deal. It's just you kind of assume that they know when they're spending a certain amount, but they don't. They don't know the differences. And everybody's got a different opinion about it. So maybe they think that you're scamming them too as well. So that's what makes the whole marketplace work the way that it does. So the best thing that you can do is carry good things, do your best to explain what you have and why you have it, and then ultimately they're going to make the decision. So you can always go with cheaper films, but I don't, like, Pro Classic is not a bad film by any means. It's just not. Some people just like, hey, tint is tint. All right, cool. That should be fine now. Good. There we go. Dudes, I am not having a good time right now. Jesus Christ. I feel like this isn't gonna fit. We're just giving it away today. All right, let's try this one again. I just didn't line them up. Thanks for the super chat, by the way. There we go. All right, so what? We're off to a real good start today. Yeah, my cut was a little wavy up at the top. So then shit didn't line up right. But yeah, you guys saw what happened. I did one of those little like wavy cuts. So it was a little too low in one spot. So then when I tried to line up my other piece, it didn't quite line up right. And then I'm trying to cut both of them together, and that shit just didn't work out. It was too short in the top corner. It just wasn't leveled. There we go. When it rains, it pours. It's one thing to just do the job. It's another thing to try and stream the whole thing. So from both platforms, that's you never know if it's going to work out until you try it. So I did what I could to try and make sure that it would work. And then we started with audio issues, and that's not fun. That should work out real well, though. All right, let's cut our patterns out again. At least we didn't install 5 on the front and then worry about issues later. How do you prep the glass? We will get to that. Pretty much razor blades. Razor blades and scrub pads. You can use both. You make it look easy. I don't think there's anything about today that makes this shit look easy. But as long as you keep going with it, one way or another, it'll get done. Just depends on how much suffering we gotta do today. We'll take that. I lost my ruler too. I don't know where the fuck that is. Minus this one. How long does it take to learn? Yeah, definitely depends on the person. I want to learn how to tint and wrap cars. No. You want to learn how to do one and focus on that, and then after you're good at doing that, then go worry about the other one. It's like, oh, I can make money doing vinyl, I can make money doing window tint. It's like, you can make money doing a lot of things, but what'll often happen is you'll spin your wheels with all these, like, this and that. So pick one, focus on it, because they're both challenging, and they both have their own weird problems. Like, wrapping is probably like easier to get the hang of, but it's still got its issues. I feel like this is, hang on. Oh, there we go. That's better. Yeah, do wrapping. Sounds good. Yeah, if you're removing things to wrap a car, that is definitely a challenge about it. Main reason I said, I think wrapping's like easier to learn. It's like, it's easier to kind of do. Why is this not working? Is this dead? Or did I just not turn it on? That's goofy. Oh, it must have died. All right, we're gonna shrink on the side. We won't have any issues. I'm just gonna end things now. That's it. I'm just gonna end things. Fuck it. I don't need to be live today. Yep, somebody called it 2 driver windows. Yep. I remember somebody saying, I don't think you flipped one. I used to do this thing where I would flip them, but I would do it both at the top. Live stream every day. I won't feel better. I'm just gonna peace out, guys. Don't worry about it. That's what happened. Just a big old don't worry about it. We'll soon be done. I'm gonna set this one. It's fun on a Telluride, of all things. Yeah, I did this twice. Hang on, let me get. We'll get there. I just need a second. When shit rains, it rains hard. It's not that I can't cut a pattern, it's just that I can't cut a pattern today. Nothing's hard about this vehicle. Yeah, this is a Telluride. It's very straightforward. We're just doing some unusual shit, and, you know, remember how fast I had my limo patterns done? Like, that was great. I was fine with that. No problem. This, that's when it started going downhill. Do you know what I want to do? I want to solve my streaming problems and not tint cars. That's what I want to do. Today was like such a good day. So we finally figured out some of that stuff and got all the equipment, set it up. This is not a cheap setup. This is, what? How much do you guys think this setup is right now that I'm streaming off of Ballpark? Where's my blades? 300, 3,000. Okay. Yep, 4. The monopod that it's on is 5. The camera is 2. The lens, not this lens, the lens that I'm putting on it tomorrow, it's going to be like 12. And then I've got a monitor thingy here that is another $500. Shit's expensive, bro. So that's where my mind has been on setting all that stuff up. The only reason, don't tip it over, yeah, no kidding. The only reason I went that extreme was because I was trying to combine like TikTok and YouTube together. YouTube's like my big headache right now. I tried using different devices, I tried different things. Everything was causing problems. So then I switched to one device, streaming on both, but then you have YouTube is 16:9, TikTok is like this. Whew, that is not easy. So there's ways to do it cheaper, but none of them are very good. So we tried with like using our GoPro. Would you believe that a GoPro 10 overheats from live streaming off of it? Like what? Why? They literally advertise live streaming on it, and you just can't do it. YouTube's more cut off right now. I know. Hang in there. Next live stream won't be so bad. I ordered a lens, and then shit changed again. So then I had to order another lens. So one lens is going back, and I just couldn't get a wide-angle lens in time. All right, what do you think? Do you think we actually did something right this time? But when you're throwing all this shit together, it's complicated. I'm just trying to make it all work. It doesn't have to be expensive. It's just it ended up making it work really well. Until you figure out audio issues and stuff. Echo. But I know why that happened, so that's good. I just don't know how to stop it from happening. What's a good Amazon film to practice with? T-View. T-View is actually a great Amazon film to practice with. It's like $100 for a 36-inch roll. It's about as cheap as you can find right now. There's cheaper films, but cheap carbon films, like carbon sounds attractive, but cheap carbon films kind of suck to work with. So what you want to get is just a nice, normal dyed film that'll be very similar to everything else. Where's my... Okay. Yeah, what's this even look like? I can't even... Okay. All right, can I fix this really quick? Okay, it works. Sweet. Nice. I think that'll be okay. How do you spell T-view? T space view. Da, 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 da. Don't forget shrinking direction. You were late. Dun, dun, dun. Ta-da! How's that? That okay? Okay, so most of this is cleaned up already. So if we pretended like we didn't have a bunch of catastrophic failures, I'm gonna have to order more ceramic. We just went through a lot. What software do you use? I use Film Cut. It's pretty good bang for your buck. I gotta try out Core. Core would probably be my other cool recommendation there. We just had another class sign up too, so that means it's full. We had 4 people sign up for the class in like the past 24 hours. I think it just filled up. I guess I gotta announce dates for the next one, huh? Any tips to increase speed? Work with people that don't allow you to be slow. I'm not the right person to ask about speed right now, that's for sure. No, but so what I would have to do was I worked with a lot of companies and I just didn't have time. Everybody was always rushing me every day. It's like, oh, this one's got to be out in like half an hour. This one's got to be out in an hour. How are you doing on that one? And so like I had to force myself to speed up. So now that I'm like here, I give myself all the time in the world to focus on a car and make sure it's done right. But a big part of that is because I want to focus on video and streaming and stuff. So I'm in a really unique position. Not today, though. I'm in a pretty bad position today. Good times. It's gonna look good, though. All right, but the things that really take too much time are going to be extra prep work. You really don't need to do very much for prep. So taping the sides, covering the panels, all that's really nice. But I tinted for years without doing that. So if you can cut some of the extra steps out, then you're just gonna be better off. You're gonna do things faster. It's just gonna be better. And then you gotta force yourself to not be so critical of your own work. And that's not that you're letting bad shit go, but don't get too hung up on a couple little things here or there. Tint it and then move on to the next one. That's honestly how you move like a lot faster. What you'll find is you are your own most critical person, and yeah, you'll always have picky people, but you'll usually be more picky than your own customers are, especially in the beginning. You'll notice things that nobody else will see. Yes, I did shrink it. I shrank it on the sides. Thankfully. Gator blade or plastic scraper. I'm a big fan of gator blade over the plastic scraper. Hang on one sec. Got one little guy right there. Where'd you come from, you dick? What are the best towels to use? Microfibers. I like big plushy microfibers. Like Costco actually has kind of like the best, I think. Best bang for your buck. This is ceramic. Wish it felt like we were having a better day today. Do they leave lint? Yeah, they can. That's not a bad thing, though. With window tinting, your squeegee is doing all the cleaning. Like, the towels are like, yeah, it's nice to not leave lint behind, but when you wipe anything down with the towel, you're leaving something behind. The window isn't, like, perfectly clean unless you squeegee it. Same thing with your process. Your process is what really matters. Soapy water. So there's typically a plastic barrier in between here, because when you are when like there's rainfall, there's rain still getting into your seals on the outside. Same thing, like it all collects in the same spot, drips down. Sometimes it'll go down like little drip channels, and it should go out the bottom drain holes on the doors themselves. So it is actually draining. On the back window, it's a little bit of a mystery. So there are some things like back window, windshield, we put towels down on some things. We try and be as careful as we can, but this is a wet process. There's no way around that. So there is going to be water that collects somewhere, but it should be evaporating out pretty quick. How long do bubbles stay on the film? Bubbles are going to dry out pretty quick. Wintertime, it can take up to a week. Other than that, anything that's kind of like left behind is not going to go away. And bubbles are going to be like white spots on your windows. Got my carts in on Wednesday, and there's still some small bubbles. Are they white or are they hard to see? Water pockets could hang around a little bit longer if things weren't squeegeed out super well, but if they're bright white, they're not going away. This is ceramic, for sure. Gonna order some tools. Any discounts? Unfortunately, no. I have some discounts on just if you order more of something, but it's definitely not on as many things as it used to be. Not white, hard to see. Oh, Wednesday, what's today? Friday? Oh, it's only been a couple days. For some reason, I thought like Wednesday was like last week. Oh yeah, it's only been a couple days. That's normal. It usually only takes a couple of days. But with the weather being warm, that'll help speed it up quite a bit. Water will always dry out, though. Where's my thingy? If you leave it outside, it'll probably go faster. Hotter it gets, faster it'll go. Is there a car you just like? I just like this one right now. For no good reason. This is my own problems. No, basically any old car. I'm not a big fan of old cars. Old cars come with a lot of headaches. They're dirty. Even if they've been taken care of, they're just not fun. They take too much time. You hardly ever get them. People are not spending very much money. Drop an online course. Isn't that what this is? No, what we're doing. Is there a live stream this weekend? I don't know. I've got an Audi R8 windshield tomorrow. I may or may not stream that. Will you ever hire tinters to work for you? Maybe someday. I don't make it easy on myself. So the hardest part is is I would essentially have to hire somebody that either already knew or was pretty damn good. And then make sure that they're busy. It's tough though. The hardest part is, hi, I'm streaming. So I don't quite know how to combine teaching somebody in person with also getting work done, with also streaming, with also video. It's kind of an impossible thing. So I then have to set up days to basically teach somebody how to tint. And those days are used by me tinting. So like every car that comes in is like a content opportunity. So we have like the in-person classes, but other than that, it's really challenging. That is leaning really far right now. Hang on. Hopefully that, the bottom, I wish there was a way to make that not spin, because that loosens and then the whole thing starts to go tilty. How much on a Mini Cooper? Depends on how much of the Mini Cooper you want tinted, but sides and rear, $290. Good. I'm just gonna try and remember everything is on the side today. I would like to use the plotter for the back though. That would help. That would be a nice win for today if I can pull that off. How's that? Is that okay? This is Telluride. So right now we're doing 70% ceramic on the rear. He didn't really want to change the look of the rear. He just wanted ceramic. He's moving out of state. So figured he'd come here and get it tinted before he does that. What's your average time for a car? Lately, it's not great. Telluride, turn back on. Is 3 hours okay? Yeah, 3 hours is pretty respectable. You have time to get about 3 full cars done in a day. Yeah, 70 on paper should match. 70 in actuality, hopefully. These are very thin. Oh my God. Fronts are laminated. Back windows are very thin. When I squeegee, I like to use the blue felt one. Do you think that would make an impact on the amount of contamination? You're squeegeeing with a blue felt thing? Don't do that. Use a squeegee. So what a good squeegee is going to do is it's going to leave the window completely dry, and that's how you know you cleaned it. So I spray it, I scrub it, and then I squeegee, right? See how everything is like 100% dry here? So then you spray it back down, and now we sprayed solution over where we just cleaned. So everything should be perfectly clean. The rest of it's going to be up to our install. Yeah, I've definitely messed up top cuts. Everybody has. There's a little bit of contamination. Okay. Yeah, ultimately it's up to your customer. There's always going to be something that you can find, but you basically shouldn't, like whatever dirt is in there shouldn't be obvious. That's where you run into big problems. Is like if you have a big crease, if you have a bunch of little dirt specks clumped together, if you have like a dirt speck here, dirt speck here, dirt speck here, that's generally like just ballparking it, that's okay. But if somebody sees it and goes, hey, that bugs me, then you're going to want to try and do a better job next time. In the beginning, that gets really challenging because you can have nitpicky people over everything. It'll give you like a weird perspective on things. Sometimes if you don't charge very much, you actually attract really picky people, even though your jobs are cheaper. They're trying to save as much money as possible. They're trying to get as much out of a job as possible. It's generally why they're extra picky. Sweet. All right, we're gonna let this check out just for half a second. Do, 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 do. Yeah, I need a wider lens. I know YouTube's like very zoomed in right now. What's the best way to deal with a bubble at the bottom of a rear window? Well, if it's dry, you're not getting rid of it. If you just tinted something, you have like a small amount of time you can make it better. For the most part, stuff at the bottom of the window, like it just got missed when you were squeegeeing it. It's usually what happens. Scrub the windows. I use these blue tri-edge scrub pads. Those are really nice. You can use anything that says scratch-free should be okay. Don't use like the really aggressive green Scotch-Brite pads. They do sell blue ones locally. They're a little expensive. They only come in like a 4-pack. But you can find some scrub pads locally, but Just make sure that they're safe on glass. People take like kitchen scrubbers and go to town on a window and they scratch the hell out of it. Sweet. All right, cool. That's 2. What time is it? Is it break time? No? All right. I don't get breaks. Satisfying when you finish a window. Yeah. Thanks. It's nice when I don't actually fuck it up. All right, so usually I would shrink this on the bottom, but I cut these out sideways, so that's how we're going to shrink them. I'm going to trim this top edge a little bit too. Make sure this is perfect for this side. The other one lined up really nice. There's one little spot that I fixed. I should have just gone from one side to the other. Do you have days where you get stuck? Oh, yeah. I mean, I can always finish and figure out a job at this point. I've been doing it for long enough where that's not the issue. But just like today, man. Today, I would not say is a smooth going day, and I don't know why that is. You know what I mean? Like, you just have those days that just don't go as well as other ones. That happens all the time. And even now, when I think I run into that spot where I'm like, oh, I know this car, this is easy, this will be a good day, then that's when everything goes to shit. And I spend a bunch of fucking patterns trying to fix something. It's stupid. It's stupid. Is Lexington a good starter brand? Does it have low angle haze? It's not a great starter brand. And yes, it does have low angle haze. If you get any other films, get Pure Max, and then I'd get like nothing else. I think that's basically what I've come to. Okay, so for shrinking on the sides, you're gonna snap shrink it so I snap shrink the sides just like I snap shrink the bottom. I just do it right on the sides there. And then that should help prevent fingers. But keep in mind the bottom edge, that is wider than the side edge is tall. So you still might have something that pop up on the bottom. It's not a perfect solution, but it usually works. It's better than not doing anything. What time is it? Is it late? There's that. We gotta get some stickers off of here. Go Kia. Do a video on how to shrink or fix contaminated windows. I mean, you're probably not going to like my response. The way to fix contaminated windows, unless it's just like how to do a better job from the beginning, which I have some of those videos on the channel. But the way to like fix windows is to redo them. That's like always the answer. It's annoying, but what's the most challenging part of opening up a tint shop? Everything. Actually having a shop open is not hard, but then you all of a sudden have like a clock. So you always got to make sure your expenses are covered. I'd say getting to that point is probably going to be like your first priority. Because if you can just always stay in business, then there's nothing you have to worry about. You can then grow up from there. So the way that I even got into the shop was I was tinting for other companies. I treated my shop like I was treating their company, and I would schedule my shop a couple days a week. I would line work up for that, and as soon as I started to get busier beyond those couple days, I would start opening up more days. So then I was kind of 1 foot in one door, 1 foot in the other, and I was able to get this place going and not worry about it failing. But tinting is only half the problem with like running a business. You have everything else. Like, as soon as you're tinting, you're not focusing on anything else about your shop. You're not focusing on the marketing. You're worried about getting that job done. And then you're done, and then you're like, oh, I gotta post, and oh, I forgot about my advertising, and oh, I forgot about this and that. So as you start growing, you actually need to have people handle that or make enough time that you can handle that yourself. All right, let's get this in there. Yay, nice. Look at that. Look at that edge. What problems did we have earlier when you have an edge like that? That looks nice. Make sure we're far enough over. A little bit. How's my battery doing? Good? Oh, yeah. Full bars. Rock solid. I'm going to put this thing... We're going to put shit through its paces. Where's the GoPro? GoPro's on the shelf right now. We kind of had to make a decision. It's not that I'm never going to stream with it, but I don't see it fitting in right now. We're having fun with TikTok, so what I did was I wanted to combine YouTube and TikTok as best I could. So this is my almost best stab at it. I've got another part that's coming. but it's just a lens. It is a lot of weight off my head. That was the main thing. Because I tried the GoPro thing with TikTok and it just wasn't working. So then it's just too much to manage all at the same time. GoPro thing, carry around a camera, no, not doing it. It's where I hit my limit. But I'm okay with like moving this around while I'm streaming. So then I just tried to do whatever I could to try and mix both together. It's a little zoomed in right now for YouTube, and I know that. As soon as I get my other lens, hopefully today, that should fix that. But I basically have to go wider on YouTube and then punch in for TikTok. My camera is mounted sideways right now. How many cars can you do on a good day? That's a good question. I'm only ever scheduling myself like 2 full cars right now. I'm not trying to do a lot of work. I'm trying to make some time to do videos. But before I was doing that, there's live streams still on the channel too. We were tinting, 4 or 5 cars in a day, and then windshields too on top of it. No, we did the full thing with the windshield, so like this is not a small job. Can't catch a break today. Hopefully that just fixed whatever issue I just had. How does that look? Oh, sweet. That looks good. It just got pressed back. So we're gonna make sure that's dried out. I'm just gonna leave it here for right now. Tint Zoom? Tint Zoom's good. They have geofilms, and I hear they really care about the kits that they ship out, so they put a lot of work into, like they have multiple softwares. So they have a tint shop, and they have multiple softwares. So they kind of stay on top as best they can about what vehicles for what kits. So yeah, I definitely would recommend them. Good film, and at least like no software is going to be perfect. So having access to multiple ones gives them a good advantage. Spray it, scrub it, squeegee. I scrape it way more. So I'm like spray it, scrape it, squeegee. Is that 100% tint? This is 70. This is very clear. Have you tried DigiCut? Kind of. Film cut looks oddly similar. So there's that. If I'm feeling ambitious, I can do this side too. But yeah, on this one, he liked the factory look in the back. He wasn't looking to go darker, but he's got kids. So then he wanted to add the same ceramic over the rear. We did 20 on the front, 70 on the windshield. It's a good choice. Not everybody that tints their cars wants to go dark. Some people actually like being practical. Usually people with families. I tried to match your logo. Please don't. It's my logo, it's not yours. But it's on the outside. I know. It'll get there. Come on, come on, come on. Sweet. Have you heard of Edge? Yes. Yes, I have. The colors I sent out to match your logo. What? Sorry, there's a lot of comments. I don't know what you're talking about. Okay. I'm an Edge rep. Ah, okay. Hi, you're new. Welcome. Yes, I've definitely heard of Edge. I've been using Geo for a long time. Definitely not changing anytime soon. But I know your film. Tint dude. Oh, what's up? Yeah, I've done. Dude, I know. Sorry, there's a lot of chat going on right now. It's hard to keep up with everybody. Oh, if you want to get in touch with Geo like directly, GeoShield USA, just give them a call. They got their phone number. How do you get a shop and business loan? A shop I got from working hard and 3 months down. And then boom, you got a shop. Where do you get a business loan? That I have no idea because I've never had a business loan for tinting. The plastic roll. What do we call it? Panel? We call it panel guard. You can find it at 313tint.com. Fan tip versus cone tip. Okay, so this is the cone tip. Both of them are super good. If I had to pick one, I would lean towards buying the cone tip just because it's adjustable. Fan tip, though, is great. Some people find themselves using like a little bit less water with the fan tip because with the cone tip, you get like an actual cone here, right? So you're like spraying like a circle, where the fan tip's kind of a little bit more even, but it's non-adjustable. So I put one on one side, I have the other one on the other side, and then I just go back and forth, and to me, it doesn't matter which one I got. But if I had to only get one, I'm buying the cone tip. I'll try and catch up on comments a little bit too. But What tint do you use from Geo? So right now we're using Pro Nano Ceramic. I like to use their C2 Carbon, and I also use their Pro Classic. And it just depends on what the client wants to go with. I show them 3 options. I show the differences between them, and then whatever they're interested in, whatever their budget allows, that's what we put on the car. It's like going into a car dealership. It's like, you know, you kind of pick the trim that you want, or pick the vehicle that you want to go with, and then you pick the trim that you want for that vehicle. Window tint and a lot of things are very similar to that. You're going to figure out what you want to do as far as like shades and stuff, and then you can pick the film type, which helps manage the heat better. And if it's not something you're interested, that's fine. That's why I got Pro Classic. Forerunner, all windows. It depends on the film. Starts at $450 with the windshield, $550 carbon, $700 ceramic. Your videos are helpful. Thank you. I needed that right now because I felt very unhelpful at the beginning. Oh my God. Yeah, today's been a rough day. Yeah, this is 70, so 70 going over factory. We're not changing the look of the rear. We're going to keep it the same. But then you have that ceramic heat protection on the back, and the front, we did those in 20 to match the rear as close as possible, which I kind of want to close one of these doors and check it out. Your prices are good. Good. I need to raise them. Yeah, let's check this out. Match pretty well? Oh yeah. That's very, very similar. Cool. All right, so now we got the back. Let's figure out what's going on with this tailgate. Oh, microfiber? No, no microfiber should be able to scratch the film. These are just Costco ones. They're just like, I find that really cheap ones, they don't absorb any water. So Costco ones really aren't expensive. They're like, you get a big pack for not a lot. I think it's like 30 come in a pack for like 12 bucks. I don't know. It's basically like 50 cents a towel. Hey, the wiper stands up. Good. Where do you put this? There. Something like that. Dryer sheets and tape, yes. Do you always start with the sides? Yeah, just out of habit. Oh. Can't see. Oh, there we go. Cool. I definitely can't see now. Are blue Scotch Brites any different from the white ones? Yes. Blue ones. What? Oh, I see. That's why you're sending. Sorry, I missed that. I haven't gotten any colored film samples yet, but I'll keep an eye out. Yeah, I don't know who's commenting what. And there's a lot of stuff going on in the chat, so unless I read who actually said something, you all are the same to me. So some things get a little bit confusing. It said not. It said ham sign for the box. That's nobody that's here. Did you send it to the right address? I don't know. I haven't seen anything. Jack, did we get a package that you signed for? Jack, did we get a package that you signed for or anything? No? Okay. Ugh. I'm sorry, my man. I think you sent it to the wrong place. Or you didn't attach your suite number or something. Or somebody stole our package. Can we see what Geo reads on the meter? So I can show on the heat box up front. Close that back up. Sent to 1205 at, yeah, that is definitely not my address. So I don't know who you sent it to. Did you send it to Detroit Tint Studio? I think you sent it to somebody else. Why don't you use a plotter? I do, it just depends. So today I decided to hand cut this just to make things more difficult on myself. But a plotter on the back window and the quarters especially is definitely going to save some time. Is Glassade your product? Yes. Yes, it is. I was mobile for a while, and I didn't have cut boards. I started to see lines more frequently in glass. It was something I tried to do to fix it, and that's kind of where that came from. Everybody do 20 push-ups. I'm good. What type of lines were you seeing? Oh, just occasionally you would see like a very slight score. Sharp blades. Yeah, I'm dealing with some fun stuff right now. So you sent it to Detroit Tint. That's funny. Yeah, our maps listing annoyingly got removed the other day, and they want to see a bunch of stuff before bringing it back, so it's just like they're taking sweet time with that. So right now, I'm on Apple, but I'm not on Google, which is really fucking annoying. business stuff. That's fun. And I think the worst part is I think they called and we thought it was a scam, so then we just like hung up, which is usually what you do with like Google calls like that. Hey, we need you to verify something. $5580. Yeah, make sure you put the suite number 108 on there, or else somebody else is gonna get it. That is the address. But yeah, we may or may not take a look at it. We'll probably open it up, but I can't promise it's going to be on the stream. We've got way too many companies that actually do stuff like that. Can I send you a sample of the ceramic tint that I use so you can compare it? I mean, you can always send stuff. I just don't have a lot of time to do too much comparing anymore, but maybe. I still have like Expel stuff that I gotta get around to. How do you feel about the new key logo? I like it. I'm glad they changed it. They definitely needed to change it. I kind of thought that they were doing it just for their more sporty stuff, and then they did it on everything. That's kind of a mixed bag, but I understand why they did it. Wow, this is light. Super chat. Sorry, it's just been busy. Yeah, well, stuff is going up. End of the month, starting to look for a plotter. Different programs having issues deciding any input. You'll save the most amount of money with film cut, but with software, you always want to make sure you just got good patterns. I would seriously get a trial of Core and see how that goes. You can also get a trial of like film cut, but I mean, it's just got work. So give Core a try as well, see how that goes. I use Sterling Heights, yes. Yeah, ever since Google took our shit down, it is harder to find. I didn't even realize it. That was the worst part. I didn't realize it until a customer pointed it out, so it probably wasn't for very long. Mike closed his shop and he's cutting for Core. Sasala? Aw. Man. I have a lot to want him to think. Did that make sense? No? What's up? Can you take the information and then we'll give them a call back because I can't. Did they send it to Detroit Tint?
I think so, yeah.
Huh?
Yeah.
Okay, then take all that.
Oh, you said the address?
Well, I know where the address is, just make sure it's Detroit Tint. I can't go out there and pick it up though. They're too far. The plot thickens, guys. Yeah, we're probably not going to be able to pick it up, so if he wants to use it, he's welcome to use it. Tell him we didn't order it. They just sent stuff to us and accidentally send it to them, so it's like, it's all right. That's funny. Well, we did locate the package. The shop called us. Yeah, that's kind of a funny one. Tint comparison. I tint from my garage, so I want to make sure the quality of tint I use is good. Well, what film do you use? Let's start with that. Yeah, the worst time to get a hold of me is like, you can ask me questions while I'm streaming, but trying to like figure shit out while I'm streaming, whew. I got a whole bunch of people I gotta talk to. It's called America's Film from a Local Shop. All right. I would have no idea. The thing is, it's a bad situation to be in. Because if you're unsure what you're installing on your own customer's car, that's not good. There's nothing a sample is going to be able to tell me about the film in terms of like, I'll know overall, how does this look? How does it work? There's those things. But I'd still be nervous to put it on a customer's car because I don't have a track record with the film. A lot of films will, you know, from one car to the next, are you going to be able to tell a huge difference? Well, kind of, but not with everybody. Let me turn this back on. Have you heard of ASWF? Yes, I don't like them. Aren't you supposed to put the tin on the inside? No, we're trying something different today. Yeah, I'm sorry. I wish they had better news for you. But the thing is, it's like, hey, I'm painting my house with this white paint. How long is it going to last? And is this like I don't know. If you think it looks okay, then it's probably like okay. But how long does it last? You're never going to know until you put it on your house and see how long it's going to last. Window tint is very much the same way. You don't know it's going to last until you actually put it on your car, or the company has some sort of a track record, or you know a little bit more about their manufacturing. When you just go and buy film from like a local person and then they slap a brand name on it, it's usually they're just not a very serious film company. They just like have film that they sell to people. It's not a great position to put your business in. It will give you film and like you can tint cars and maybe it'll be fine. But it's a lot of guessing. So that's kind of what you bank on a cheaper price with. You're saving money up front, and hopefully it'll pay off in the long run. chill. It'll get there. Oh, you guys are funny. All right, let's check this out. Should be good. Yeah, it's kind of it's like one of the most annoying things about film reviews is like in order to properly review a film, you have to like live with it. We'll get there. Tin will go on the inside. I'm not an expert, I'm just playing around. Then it's probably fine for what you need it for. What's a good plotter? I have this guy. This is the Workhorse 2. It's a good machine. I got some TV to practice with. I'm wondering why you don't recommend to leave it on. It'll look fine today. You're just taking a gamble of what it'll look like tomorrow. So I don't know for sure if it's gonna look terrible or whatnot, but I can tell you that is the cheapest, one of the cheapest films of its type around. So chances are it's gonna fail. I just wouldn't stake my business on it, that's all. But if you put it on your own car, you did a good job, and you're just like, hey, I just wanted to tint my car and have some fun, then like, yeah. But I wouldn't put it on a customer's car and leave it, because then I'm putting a little bit more at risk for my own business. I'm never trying to just save money on films. Are you a Swiftie? Who doesn't like Taylor Swift? I saw some videos of of those concerts though. Like, holy shit, they're busy. I'm gonna stay at home, thank you. I call that Detroit Tint, and they like the film. Super. Yeah, well, with the 10, thank you. Thanks for the info. Just finished off my first 3 boxes. Also, a new respect for mobile tinters. Yeah. Yeah, outdoor mobile tinting is very difficult. But good for you, man. That's awesome. Thank you so much for the super. You've been around here for quite a little while now. I'm glad you're getting it. That's awesome. All right, so we're gonna give this a quick scrub down. Tint's gonna go on the inside. What? That's crazy. Need a towel. So we're gonna take this. Oh, all right. probably right there. Something like that. All right, hatches, pretty damn straightforward. Hardest part is getting the cutout. Once you get the cutout, everything else is easy. So plotter cutting this definitely saves time. No doubt about that. Make sure that's all clean. We're gonna get some drips. But start at the topmost part, work your way down. That way you're working with gravity. All right, moth. Get out of my window. Thank you. I only use my plotter for back and quarter windows. I pretty much do the same. All right, so I hung my pattern over on the side of the car. I'm just gonna peel that off, and then I'm gonna bring it over to where you guys are. Ideally, you'd have it on a board, but what? So the other thing is, wherever we trimmed it off with the spoiler, if it's too long, tuck in what you can. Otherwise, you're gonna just trim it off on the inside. And that's pretty easy to do. But we should be good on this one. And we got some quarter windows. My mom's worried about me getting ceramic in Michigan. Nice. Yeah, installations, I hear you. Being good at hand cutting is great. Because it's one thing to mess up on an installation, but as long as you can recover and get a pattern cut back out, the quicker you can do that, the better. The more mistakes that you can make and not lose too much time. Cool. All right, shit's looking good. Except that. Top. You just got one little guy right here. Will cops in Michigan care? It depends. Some do. Not everybody gives you a pass. If you pass the wrong guy on the wrong day, then yeah, you might get hassled for it. It's entirely a possibility. The more you blend in with traffic, the less problem it is. So like, it's definitely a nice thing to have. But if your parents are paying for it, or they want you to save their money, you can always start with the back. You can tint the back as dark as you want. That's completely legal. She's afraid you're gonna knock up your girlfriend. That's the real one. Or get in an accident. There's always that too. All right, cool. Quarter windows. Let's go. What's up? All right, so we got a couple pieces here. Is this going to be big enough? Hey, look at that. That's actually perfect. That doesn't always happen. $15. Depends. I'd say if you want to be safer, if you want to be safer, 35 on the front is usually a pretty good route to go. The darker you go, the more risk there is. So, I don't know. Most people go with 20, but even with 20, it's like you can still run into issues. You're not immune from it. So, I'm sorry, I can't give you a blessing saying you won't have any issues, because I don't know. You might. No head cam. Nope, not today. Where do you get all your tools? I have my own store, 313tint.com. We're gonna leave. Can we leave this there? It's kind of annoying. It's already tinted. I'm gonna jump in here. I'm gonna take care of this quarter window right quick. What do you have on your personal vehicle? 50 on the windshield, 35 on the front doors, 20 on the back. Do you feel worried? No, not at all. When I was darker than that, yeah, all the time. I used to want to go dark. I used to tint things 20 on the front, 35 on the shield, 5 on the rear. Yeah, I used to drive around with it really dark. Every once in a long while, I get popped for it, too. It always seemed like when I was driving like out of my way somewhere. Like, oh, let's go do this one thing that we don't normally do. That's when I would get a ticket for it. Da, 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 da. Good. All right, we got one more. Whew. Good times. It does work. Sweet. I feel like this thing times out every half hour. I gotta fix that. All right, where's my other sprayer? So again, hopefully this fits. Hey, look at that. Perfect. Where do I get what now? Why don't you double cut the quarter windows? Habit. I don't have a good answer for you other than it would typically be annoyingly dark to see through. With 70, I have no excuses. I should have just double cut them. Do you have ceramic on your personal vehicle? Well, of course. I mean, I may do lighter shades, but ceramic is one of those things that once you drive with it, you don't want to ever drive without it. So that goes for if I'm driving a car for like a day or two. It's annoying. You just feel the sun cutting right through the glass. So when you're in your car driving around and you don't have ceramic, you feel that sun cutting through. It's like hitting your legs, it's hitting your body. You always feel it. When you put ceramic on, you don't feel that anymore. So whenever you get in anybody else's car, you immediately feel a difference between the two. On a cooler day, it's not going to be as annoying, but it can be plenty of annoying year-round on the right days. Even in the wintertime, it's like I'm not concerned with keeping my car cooler in the wintertime, but you do feel that sun cut through. So when you warm your car up and then all of a sudden it feels toasty in your car, that's great. But if you're in your car for a while, you still feel that sun cutting through. Yeah, all the things that you see me use, just about everything, you can find at 313tint.com. If you guys have any questions about it, ask me. The white tape, that's called Glass Aid. The door panel covers, that's called Panel Guard. When's the last time you had toast? A few weeks ago. We have a lot more rice than we have toast. Yeah, you probably don't have to shrink this quarter. Is there a glass 8 alternative I can get in Canada? Not that I've ever heard of. Where can I find the tint rack? So the one over by the plotter, you can find that at Sun Distributing. If you're talking about the one with the geo boxes, you can find that at the hardware store. It's modular garage shelving is all that is. You'll notice like these dual track brackets. You basically have a bar that gets bolted to the like studs in the wall. So this one, this is from Sun Distributing. They have fancy green end caps that go in the end, and then the roll just sits right in here. So you can, it's really easy to store your stuff. The rack over there, that's a little bit of a different project. There's a beam that goes along the top, and then there's these rails that come down, and these little brackets slot in between there. So that's all hardware stuff, hardware store stuff. Pretty easy to do. That's why I did it. I'm not super crafty with building shit. I don't have to buy tint and give it to you. You have everything supplied at your shop? Yes. If you're interested in getting a tint job, don't worry, we'll handle the film. All right, so now it's just a little bit of touch up, check everything over. I don't know why this was sitting where it was, but let's pop that back. Do you have any cutting tips for windows without matrix or borders? Can you give me an example? Because offhand, I'm not sure. Is there any way to fix scratched windows? Ooh, an 81? No, I don't have any good recommendations for you. Shit's gonna suck. Leave a gap around the whole thing, put a stripe on the outside. Old vehicles are just a pain. So they used to design things with no borders. That's just how they made it. So that stuff just isn't fun. I generally decline a lot of that work, but because I hardly ever get asked about it anyways. So it's just not a very popular request, so then it doesn't get very much support. And the cycle kind of continues where it's like, you know, it's the worst of everything. Because it's difficult, it's more expensive. How many microns do you use? What are you talking about? But yeah, old cars always come with those kinds of annoyances. It's just frustrating. There aren't enough of them on the road to where you can get super familiar with doing them every day. So it's like you might get this 70s car, and then 2 months later you might get this other old car, and then 6 months later you might get this other old car. Unless you're like actively know people with those things, you kind of like stir up that business. So for the most part, it's so few and far between doesn't even make a lot of business sense. Where something like a Model 3, that's for a time, it was a very talked about car. Challenging back window, people talked about it a lot. They worked on their processes and figured things out. But old cars, they're just like, they don't really exist as much anymore. So it's kind of the worst of everything. Ooh, I'm gonna get a different blade. I want a different blade for this. Super chat. Thank you. MG Raps with the 10. I've learned a lot of strategies from you throughout time. Finally started a Tesla Model 3 after your video. Oh, awesome. Funny enough, just talking about those. Yeah, I was really nervous the first one I did. They're not that bad. Even the back glass, like, you kind of, once you go through it like a time or two, you get really comfortable with it a lot faster. Yeah, I recommend I recommend avoiding them. Yeah, no kidding. Do you use Lumar? No. Without dots, I doubt I'd be a tinter. Dude, I so agree with that. Because that made things like so much easier and accessible for people. I mean, tinting really didn't get a start until later, but those types of things were a lot more normal for old school tinters. So they kind of had to like just deal with it. And then things eventually got easier. All right, we're gonna. I was hoping I could take care of this. I'm gonna have to put this in my knife. Do you have employees that do the jobs? No, I do all the tinting jobs. All right, I can hold this a little bit better. Yay, there it goes. Sweet. What, I'm 38, been tinting for 38 years? It's my birthday? Oh, happy birthday. Thanks for hanging out. Yeah, that's somewhat true. Yeah, it's really challenging to find, like, you know, even if they care, it's having that skill set. But I'm gonna bring my mom to your shop so she'll be less worried about the tint. Dude, I'm gonna make it worse for you. I hope you understand that. You're not gonna sing happy birthday? No, I am not. I said happy birthday. It depends on what the questions are. Dude, I'm about as straightforward with all this shit as you're gonna get. If it makes sense, it makes sense. If it doesn't, it doesn't. Could you possibly, like, generally are people getting popped for it? No. But the lighter you go on the front, the safer you are. So if anything, I'd probably get you 35 on your front doors rather than 15. But I don't want to be involved in those discussions, really. It's, you guys gotta have your shit sorted out before you get here. I am not in the convincing business. Guys, you want to get your car tinted? Cool. I'll talk about shades. And then from there, I can give my 2 cents, but I'm not convincing like, oh yeah, it'll be fine. You could go dark. No, fuck that. At the end of the day, give what you want. That's between you and your mom. But you be nice to your mother. Do you have a tint shade sheet where I can see what it looks like? Yes. We have the different sheets on a display board. But I also have examples on my own car. So I've got like 50% on the windshield, 35 in the front, 20 on the rear. To kind of give you some context of what that's going to look like. This last little touch-up thing here. We got smarts. Sweet. Looking good. I almost forgot we did the whole windshield with this thing too. Mom, can I get my windshield tinted, please? Hey, I remember when I had to talk to my dad about it. So my dad had the accessories company. I wanted my windows tinted, and I was trying to get 20. I remember what that conversation was like. And he said you could do 20 on the back, but you're going to get 35 on the front. Anything darker is too dark. It's just because they care. So you always got to respect that. Not going to be around forever. He rolled it down. Oh my God, he didn't pay attention to that 3-day rule. It's okay. Well, it's actually okay. Yeah, rolling down windows is kind of a, it's not a big deal. The reason why so many shops say it is because your windows are actually drying. But the thing is, they will tack up really quickly. So you can effectively roll them down immediately and they'll be fine. But it's one of those things where everybody says it. So it's not like a hard rule. It's just so common that it's kind of hard to explain now in the other direction. But it'll be okay. That car better not be done. It is super chat. Swole Gang. I know Swole Gang. What's up? 5. Been watching your videos since I started 1.5 years ago. Shaving edges and everything. Been so busy. Wouldn't be here without you. Damn, look at you go. I know you. Yeah, you've been around here for a while. Dude, congrats. That's awesome. Thank you so much for the 5. Yeah, I gotta fix that. Everything else is pretty good about this. All right, hang this back up. Should be good with turning this off. Sweet. Let me put his temporary tag back up in here. I might have to take lunch earlier to catch the stream. Let me find a piece of tape. Ever thought of having a same-day roll-down option? I just don't like trying to feel like I'm going to sell it. So there's nothing I'm actually going to do differently to the car. But you could like throw some extra heat and make sure everything's going to dry out a little bit and like go through and check them. I just tell them, honestly, for convenience, like leave your windows up for a couple of days, because the biggest thing is not that, you know, something might peel. It's really like, hey, it will take a little bit of time to dry out, where you're going to see some air pockets in between the film and the glass. So that actually does make a difference, where on the first day, somebody might be a little bit overly concerned with what they see. So as long as you address those things, and that's where like, yeah, just give your windows a few days before you roll them down, and then everything will be fine. Like that puts the majority of people right at ease, where it's just not an issue. So anytime you do stuff like that, it's usually a little bit better. Sweet. I know TikTok's better for exposure, but I miss the YouTube. Well, we are on YouTube as well now, but I hear ya. It's unfortunately the hard decision that I had to make. It's like Ariel, I want to be where the people are. It's tough though, because I honestly thought YouTube would just like gradually pick up on its own over time. It hasn't. It's kind of stayed even for a long time. And I still enjoy doing it, which is why I spent this much money for this thing. But I gotta try and work both, because I would just be dumb if I didn't. You're such a dad now. Look at you killing it. Thank you. So there we go. There's another one. He is waiting up front. What time is it? 2:30? Oh, okay. So we're pretty much right on time here. All right. Well, this one's all set. What can you suggest so I can get where you are now? I am such a dad. Hustle. A lot. Keep trying stuff. There was no roadmap for what I'm doing right now. So ask lots of questions, keep trying things. Good luck, man. Biggest thing is just get some tint, get some tools, keep practicing, and see how you can improve your own business. All right. Well, I got to deliver this one, so I'm going to sign off here. Thank you all so much for hanging out. I appreciate you. Thank you for the supers. We will be back soon with another stream, but I got to take off. Bye.